When two musicians in Prohibition Chicago witness a mob hit, they flee the state in an all-female band disguised as women in the 1959 screwball comedy classic Some Like It Hot, starring Marilyn Monroe, Tony Curtis, and Jack Lemmon.
Not since Scarface, so much action. Not since the Marx Brothers, so much comedy. Not since the 7-Year Itch, so much Marilyn.
Now, unless you've never been outside of your house, I'm sure all of you have at least heard the name Marilyn Monroe or seen a picture of her somewhere. And this is the definitive movie to see of Marilyn Monroe's. The other being the 7-Year Itch, which is just famous for the scene where she gets her skirt blown up. But this is really her shining movie as far as her legacy goes, in my opinion. It is argued by many as the greatest comedy of all time. It's ranked #1 by the American Film Institute. Now, I'm sure there's going to be dispute over that. People will say that something else, like, I don't know, like Superbad or something more modern or that's more laugh-out-loud funny. But I can see where someone would say this is the greatest comedy of all time because we're talking about in terms of quality comedy, as far as like good writing and adhering to a story. You know, like if you watch, I can't believe I'm using this as an example, an Adam Sandler movie, there's a chance that you might laugh, but you can't deny that the movie doesn't have tremendous depth as far as story, wit, and all that other stuff. But this movie stands alone as a great movie, and it also stands alone as a great comedy, which is why I believe it is considered the greatest comedy of all time. Now, I'm not saying that I think that it is, I'm just saying that I can see that it would be. I think what really complements this movie, I think the greatest thing comedically in this movie is a very young Jack Lemmon who, there's just so many great classic moments. There's the famous line, "Well, nobody's perfect," at the end. He really understood Billy Wilder, who is the writer and director of the movie, his writing, and if you've seen any other Billy Wilder movies, which I believe I've reviewed a few, I could easily see someone arguing that he was the greatest screenwriter of all time. I often get taken by surprise by his wit. Now, also to support the argument that the movie is, well, it's too dated to be the greatest comedy of all time, I think to the wrong audience, even in 1959 when it was made, it could be considered to be dated. And the reason is because, well, one, it takes place in 1929 Chicago, so it's kind of like that stylized gangster scenario. But the thing is that people might not understand is that it pokes fun at that. There's a reason why it's very stylized and very like screwballish, because it's a parody. It's making fun of that time period. Several stock characters, such as George Raft's character Spats Columbo, who is like the classic stock character gangster, who people would say is one-dimensional, but that style of comedy calls for that. I mean, I hate to explain why a movie is great. I think it's important to educate, not to sound arrogant, but to educate just how you should view the movie as an open-minded audience member. If you're like me, and like most people, as far as Marilyn Monroe is concerned, you've heard the name before you've actually seen a movie. And I'm sure, like, some people might have the expectation, well, what's so special about Marilyn Monroe? I think when you see her on screen, she does kind of have an effect on you. Like, she just really knows how to work a camera. She doesn't get enough credit as a good performer. I don't mean that she was a terrific actress as far as, you know, like a performing actor goes, but as an entertainer, there's truly a lot of ability behind her. I don't think she was just a pretty face. She's definitely a very important component to the movie, and her ability as a performer, I think, gets a little underestimated. So let me know in the comments what you think of Some Like It Hot. What did you think of the comedy duo of Tony Curtis and Jack Lemmon, not to mention Marilyn Monroe, and that's pretty much it.
Always going, don't know where. Always showing, I don't care. Don't love nobody. It's not worthwhile. All alone.